Now is 9:32, and in today's health headlines, we are talking about summer sun, your skin, and what aesthetic treatments should be put off until the fall. Joining us live is Dr. Kathleen Cook-Swozey, Director of Aesthetic Dermatology and Dermatologic Surgery at Yale School of Medicine. Welcome, Doctor. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, Brittany.
Well, you just heard Gil's forecast. I know things are going to change tomorrow, but it's been very hot for the past few days. The sun is out. What do we need to know as more people are spending time outside? What do people need to know about protecting their skin?
So it's important to know that a sunburn is not just a temporary irritation, it's a sign of DNA damage. And even one blistering sunburn increases your risk for melanoma later in life. And in this time of year where the temperatures are a little bit milder, people really underestimate their UV exposure. And it's important to recognize that everyday activities like gardening, walking your dog, even outdoor dining, outdoor sports like tennis and golf, you really have to be diligent about your protection because that cumulative exposure really adds up.
Yeah, doctor, there's something that you just said that makes me curious. How much exposure to the sun? Are we talking like a few minutes or an hour before we start to see our risks of getting skin-related conditions or cancers increase?
Well, it really depends on the UV index in terms of time, but on cloudy days, we're often underestimating how much exposure we're getting. And as soon as you develop that redness from a sunburn, that DNA damage is there. And for development of non-melanoma skin cancers, that intense intermittent exposure is really important, but so is that daily cumulative exposure. So both really matter.
All right. And when it comes to protecting our body, what parts of our body would you say are most vulnerable? Of course, everyone puts sunscreen on their face, if they do remember to put sunscreen on. But are there other parts of our body that are often neglected, would you say?
Yes, so the scalp's a really important area. So for
Okay.
men with thinning hair, we see a lot of skin cancers on the scalp. But for women, we see skin cancers develop in the part line because that's a place where you often forget, or right along the hairline. Also, places like the back of your feet, the back of your hands, these are places often neglected. And it's important to know that when you're wearing a baseball cap, the tip of your nose is not fully covered. So that's a very common place for developing skin cancer.
That's so interesting, and I'm sure there's some people that are watching this right now and they're like, well, how do I put sunscreen on my scalp? That can get messy in my part. Are there certain sunscreens that we should be shopping for so that we can protect all parts of our body, but while looking great at the same time?
Yeah, so there are a lot more formulations these days, and there are even scalp sunscreens that are meant to be applied in dry hair. But another tip is you can use the spray sunscreens that are alcohol-based. So you can spray them in the part, and because the alcohol base of the solution, they're going to be dry and they won't mess up your hairstyle.
Really good tips. I'm going to be on the lookout for that. Let's turn now to aesthetic treatments. These are extremely popular these days, whether you're getting Botox or filler or something else. Which ones should be left out for the fall when it's cooler and less sunny, would you say?
You really want to avoid treatments that are damaging the skin barrier. So our laser treatments are selectively injuring the skin in a controlled way. And when you're healing from those treatments, you're going to be much more vulnerable to sunburns or what's called hyperpigmentation, increased pigment of the skin after healing. So lasers in general should be put off till the cooler weather. But injectable treatments, like you mentioned, our soft tissue fillers, our neuromodulators like Botox, they can safely be performed in the summer months.
All right, really good information. Thanks so much for your time, doctor. Really appreciate it.